I wasn't going to do any more videos on beginner bike riding and tips of riding in Thailand, but I overheard some guys talking at a bike shop the other day about a subject, and I thought, well, that would make a nice little subject just to conclude this little mini series on. So what they were talking about was chicken strips, and I'm not talking about or becoming a foodie and cooking chicken. What we are talking about is the unused portion of tyre on your motorbike. A chicken strip is that portion between that mark there and the edge of the tyre. It's that there that doesn't get used on the bike if you're not going around corners or leaning corners. I've driven up onto this little bit of sandy path just to give you an idea of the footprint that the tyre uses generally when it's upright. So the chicken strip here is from there to the edge of the tyre. Now, when these guys were talking, they were ribbing one of their mates because they were looking at his tyres going, saying things like, you're not going fast enough, you're not getting enough lean on your bike going around corners, you need to go faster, lean more to get your bike round a corner because your chicken strips are too wide. Well, maybe I can put a little bit of sense to chicken strips in general and the use of the bike when you're leaning over going into a bend. First of all, number one thing that you've got to appreciate when riding in a bend or when you lean your bike over, there's a simple equation: lean equals risk. So the more you lean your bike over, the more risk you're applying to yourself. Your bike is equipped with suspension, and your suspension works best when the bike is in the upright position. Your suspension is designed to go up and down to compensate and damper the undulating road surface as you go through your journey. When you tip the bike over, your suspension is less effective, hence a little bit of risk is implied to your ride. Now, what you've got to remember is that when you're on your bike, the only bit of contact between you and the road is the rubber of your tyre, and the area, total area, is about the size of the palm of your hand. So as you ride along, if you put your palm onto the tyre, the contact area is about 4 inches long and about 3 inches wide. When you lean the bike into a corner, that contact area decreases, therefore risk is applied. So what are we talking about in the chicken strip scenario? As we go around the corners, anything over 30-40 mile an hour I'd probably consider to be riding a corner at speed. You need to get round the corner at an angle, but not an excessive angle. If you can go round the corner at a gentle angle, you're controlling, managing your lean. But if you lean it a bit too far, you then create problems for yourself. If the road changes, the undulations change, your dampering system will probably not be able to cope, and you've got to contend with the unknowns. So the idea of going around a corner
is to lean just enough to get round that corner. You do not need to lean excessively or at speed to get round that corner to prove to your mates that I've got no chicken strips on my tyres. So when you're riding around a corner at speed, you've got to be mindful of your bike you're riding. Most sports bikes, everything is high, the pegs are high, the exhaust is high, so it's designed to go over at an angle. But if you're riding a cruiser or a big bike with running boards, as soon as you start angling over around the bend, you'll be scraping part of your hardware on the floor, and that's going to cause you problems. You need to lean just enough to get round the bend, because if something happens and you've got to change your direction, or you've got to put the bike upright for whatever reason, you have created risk and problems for you. So if you're going round that corner and you can go round that corner with less lean, you're improving your safety margin, you're improving your ground clearance, and in certain instances you can improve your speed. But speed is not, I must emphasise, speed is not all about going round a corner. You may be asking, how do I go round a corner at speed and maintain my safety margin? Well, it's all to do with body positioning. You can move your body over to the edge, to the corner, but keep your bike slightly upright, so your weight of your body counteracts the lean of the bike. So if you can go round the corner at a speed with less lean, you're increasing your safety margin and your chances of getting around that corner successfully without any hindrance or accidents happen. So what we can glean from this, I mean, what you could do, or what we could do, is to put in line a set of bikes, cruisers, sports bikes, adventure bikes, do the same course, all at the same speed, yet their chicken strips, for want of a better word, will all be different widths. Therefore, it's not really a good indicator of how you ride. We can look at these chicken strips, or you can see these people looking at chicken strips going, well, you know, mate, you're not a very good rider. Look at my tyres, I've got wear right round to the edge. It doesn't mean they're a better rider by any means. It means they're putting themselves at more risk than you. If you can go round a corner at 30 mile an hour at a 20% lean and get round there successfully, happy days. If you can go round the same corner at a 35% lean at the same speed, all you've done is increase your risk, and basically, you know, it doesn't prove a thing. So chicken strips are not an indicator of a good rider. On the track, it's completely different. The tyres that they use on track are sticky. They're designed to get that extreme lean. That's why the riders wear elbow pads, shoulder pads, because they can get their bike over to such a degree that they are nigh on lying flat. It's what they're designed to do, and it's how they ride it. It's what they do. They ride very fast, yes, and they also got the tyres that are sticky to keep them on the road. So when you see these people going, oh mate, look at the size of your chicken strips, look at why don't you ride faster, why don't you ride or push your bike down further in the bend to get rid of those chicken strips, it doesn't mean a thing. I would suggest not to listen to them people. Let them talk, by all means, let them have their say, let them have their day, but if you want to be safe on the road, and we're talking road craft, go round bends at your pace, in your comfort margin. You will have to lean, but if you do need to lean, let the bike lean, you counterbalance that lean with your body weight, and you will come round the bend successfully and continue your journey as you intended to do. And when you hear these guys that bragging about, look at my tyres, I've got no chicken strips, I can go as fast as anything round bends, give them a reminder that exhibition riders, the guys that do stunts exhibition, will get on their bike, they will do round and round and round at 5 miles an hour, and yet they will wear their chicken strips completely to the rim, not to the edge of the tyre, but to the rim, and they're only doing 5 miles an hour. So when you hear the word chicken strips associated with tyres and bikes, and guys bragging about it, smile, be polite, but then say, well, you need to know how to ride a bike before you put yourself at danger.
Me wind and rain, you're some kind of bird.